You guys.
That was so good. I like the authenticity.
You can't laugh. They get you.
Get it.
Hello, and welcome to Spirit Speakeasy. My name is Justin, and today we'll be making one of my favorite drinks, whiskey. Neat. Step 1, uncork. Step 2, you want to pour yourself an ounce, 2 ounces, 3 ounces. It really depends on how your week's gone. Step 3, enjoy.
Yes.
Oh, that's delicious. Are you sure that we are awake? It seems to me that yet we sleep, we dream. Welcome back to the Spirit Speakeasy. Today, we're going to be talking about a Midwinter's Night's Dram by West. So this is a delightful whiskey. It is a blend of Rendezvous Rye and MGP that West makes. It is a seasonal that comes out but once a year. This is Act 7, Scene 1. So everybody's already got a glass of it. I want you to take a look at it and just look at that color. It's a beautiful caramel color. And the nose on this thing is superb. Every year we try to get a little bit of this. We are lucky because we live in the great state of Utah, and this is a lot more readily accessible than it is in other states. I actually just went down to the liquor store today and just grabbed this. They just have it sitting there. I have heard that this current Act 7 is more available than previous acts, so maybe they made more this year. I'm not quite sure. But for those of you who've not had this, this is a perfect whiskey for those cold winter nights. It comes out every fall around October, and it's always delightful. Completely delightful.
Yeah, the nose on this is really bold and spicy, and I get a lot of cherry on there.
Yeah, so it is that blend of Rendezvous Rye. It is aged in French white oak port barrels. So you do get quite a bit of port sometimes, depending on the year. I find this year's to be very well balanced.
It's super. Oh, sorry. You go.
I've noticed in previous years there's been a lot more of the port, and it's a lot more subdued, a lot more balanced this year. So it's really fantastic. The
Still
port's definitely
sweet
present.
though.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's definitely still sweet.
And there's a lot of that rich, the stone fruit, like the cherry and the little bit of apricot in there as well. I love that. Absolutely love that about port.
It does have a little spiciness. That spiciness of the rye. I personally prefer the double rye. I know people think I'm crazy for this, but I actually like the double rye better than the Rendezvous Rye. But because I like spicy rye. That's just my personal preference. This is a little spicier than some previous years. Some of the different previous acts. But I like that. But if you don't like the spiciness of the rye, maybe not be for you. But to me, I think this edges out last year just because it is a little bit more spicy. And it's a little bit, I think, better balanced with the port.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it's definitely a dram to be enjoyed. This isn't one that you want to be shotgunning. You want to just slowly enjoy it by the fire, after your Thanksgiving meal, Christmas Day. Those are the things that it reminds me of.
Yeah, absolutely.
Definitely. And this is the first straight spirit we've featured on Spirit, and I think it's worthwhile to note that this is one of those that shines well enough that I don't know that I would put it in a cocktail.
Oh, I definitely would not put this in a cocktail.
I mean, you could, and it would be delicious, but you're going to cover up so much of that nuanced flavors and the nose, and you just lose a lot.
Yeah.
And with an MSRP of $100, $99, it's
That's a valid point.
Be an expensive cocktail. I really love everything about it. It's just West keeps coming through every year with this. I know they do a lot of barrel selects. To me, this is the best of the best that they do. It is a little expensive, but I think it's worth every dollar.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it's very good.
I try to buy a bottle every single year, just without fail.
Well, and not to mention that their bottle alone is beautiful.
It is a beautiful bottle.
I just like the evolution of flavors. It's super sweet right off the bat, and then it goes to the dark, spicy rye. And then as it sits there, the oils, they kind of like start making your tongue tingle as it just evolves more as it just sits after you swallow it.
And what is the proof on this?
It's 98.6.
Okay, so it's not a lightweight. I mean,
No.
they haven't proofed that down much.
If you've got people that aren't into whiskey, maybe you've got some wine friends that are into wine or ports, this is a great gateway whiskey. So, me personally, I think there's no wrong way to drink whiskey. Some people prefer to put, an ice cube in it, maybe a drop of water to open it up. I have done that. Certain barrel strength whiskeys, you might want to do a drop of water, open it up, or an ice cube. Personally, I prefer this to be neat. You can swish it around. I do find that if you give this about 5 to 10 minutes just to aerate a little bit, it is a little bit better. We just opened this bottle tonight. It'd be interesting to see what it tastes like in 3 to 4 weeks. So that's the one cool thing about whiskeys. It does change over time.
Definitely, definitely. And I'm kind of the same way. I personally agree that the whiskey is the right whiskey, I should say, is the whiskey you like to drink how you like to drink it.
Absolutely.
Because when I started drinking whiskey, I definitely could not drink whiskey neat. That was not a thing I could do. I drink my bourbon with ice. And then as I have kind of developed that palate and developed the tastes, now I can drink stuff straight that, would have made me gag.
Well, it's funny you mentioned that because I think the evolution for me went like lots of ice to 1 ice cube to whiskey stones to neat.
Yeah.
There was definitely, I think, an evolution for my personal palate.
I did exactly the same thing. I did the 2 ice cubes, then 1 ice cube. Then I've still got the whiskey stones sitting in my freezer that I've not touched in.
Yeah, I probably haven't touched mine in years.
So,
Yeah.
But I will say, depending on the whiskey, though, a couple drops of water will open it up.
That can make a big difference,
Absolutely.
And I think that everybody kind of starts with their whiskey cold. Cold kind of does take some out, but whiskey
mellows
can
out the
be
alcohol.
very overpowering, and it can be a punch in the face if you're not ready for it.
Absolutely. You pull some of the bite away to chill it a little bit.
And now it's after drinking for a while and being exposed to a lot of whiskeys, we're all at that point where you can just pour a nice room temperature bottle and even let it warm up a little bit.
Yeah, and I think for that reason, this whiskey is a perfect gateway whiskey for somebody that maybe wants ice cubes or colder, just because it is very smooth. Like we said, it's got a little bit of that rice spiciness, but it's not harsh. It's very well balanced.
Well, it's also proofed up a little bit, so adding an ice cube isn't going to just turn it into water either.
Yeah.
Yeah, you stand, a little bit of dilution for this isn't going to ruin the whole thing.
Exactly.
So I think pretty much, on a national scale, people know who High West is. It's a point of pride here in Utah that we do have such a wonderful distillery. The distilling scene in Utah is just growing. We featured other spirits that have been made here in Utah. I mean, mostly a lot of the stuff we feature is made here in Utah, and a lot of it owes to High West paving that way.
Yeah, the first legal distillery in Utah since Prohibition. I mean, that's a huge star on their hat, because prior to that, there was no Utah whiskey. That was not a thing. Now Utah and High West are almost ubiquitous. People who are talking about whiskey, if you say you're from Utah, they're like, "Oh, High West." They don't.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's the first thing that comes to everybody's mind.
Yeah, I was in a whiskey bar in Tyson's Corner out in Virginia, and I mentioned to the guy that I was from Utah, and that's all he wanted to talk about was High West. And specifically, he wanted to talk about this particular spirit.
Yeah.
And the other thing that High West has been known for, and I think without a doubt can be credited for, is the resurgence of rye. Rye was kind of a dying spirit, and High West has really brought it back. I mean, this bottle here is one of the most sought after bottles year after year after year for the past 7 years, and it's a rye bottle, and that's pretty awesome. Yeah, so High West has 2 locations. They've got the Park City location, which is your more, in my opinion, touristy location. It's where they started out of, but it's really kind of turned into a tourist stop.
Like a tap room.
Yeah, a little tap room. You can do a little tour there. It's cute, but if you really want to spend your time well, go the extra couple miles past Park City down to Wanship and get the tour of the main distillery. That place is amazing.
That is definitely worth it.
And it's got room to grow.
All right, so final word on it, Sarah?
I could finish this one and have another one, to be honest, although I think I may end up on the floor.
Steve?
This is definitely a whiskey that will be finding its way onto my shelves.
I would say it's decadent enough that you could serve it at a party, or you could just enjoy it by yourself with a good book and a blanket.
Fantastic bottle. I love this every single year. It is rich and it's dark and it is Christmas in a bottle.
Yeah, I agree. For me, it's like Sabra and Mike said, it's definitely one of those things where I think it's a kind of almost personal experience. If you can believe that having a whiskey be a personal experience, just sitting by the fire, reading a book, bringing those memories of Christmas and Thanksgiving together, it's just, to me, it's a 9 out of 10.
I would agree.
Usually.
Yeah. Absolutely.
All right, well that's it for today. So just remember to keep the spirit.
Keep the spirit.
Spirit.